look at the tail of the tape. 13 years difference separating them. That's a big number. The height, significant for Breazeale, as is the reach. And the weight, 252 to 218. So you're 218 pounds and you're Mansour, and you're still giving away 35. So we're in a division where things often happen quickly as you look at Mansour.
I don't care if you want to be bullied,
but
just
B,
do it within the fucking rules.
These guys know each other's habits and they have a common opponent.
You guys fight as hard as you want.
So will that make them a little bit more methodical? We'll see.
The referee just told Mansour, I don't care if you make it blank dirty, just stay within the rules. Great advice, because that's exactly what Mansour is going to need to do in order to win this fight. He needs to get a little dirty in there, and Breazeale is going to have to keep him from getting dirty.
That's kind of ironic. How do you keep it dirty and stay within the rules as Mansour gets through? Lands a good body shot.
Mansour caught him with the overhand left right there that caught Breazeale's attention all of a sudden. And this is a fight that Breazeale should have expected, because Mansour's only opportunity is to start explosive and go down to the body and dig down.
Which he acknowledged this week. This is the only kind of fight this guy has.
Don't push his head down, son.
Great body shots there. Those body shots take their toll. They don't take their toll early. You might not even feel them right now in the first round. But then all of a sudden, the fourth and fifth and sixth round, you don't have the same wind that you had in the gym, and that's because of those body shots.
A good right hand getting through from Breazeale, using that height and reach.
Watch your feet, guys. You're getting your feet crossed up.
Good body shot by Mansour. Let's talk about the righty-lefty matchup.
Hands are free. Get your hand out, Breazeale. Move your hand back, Dominic.
Feet a big consideration.
Hands are free.
Referee
Move your hand back.
them-
Stop! Stop! Watch that.
Not
Watch
to
your
get
hand
their
back.
feet tangled.
Let's go.
It is interesting when the righties and lefties get together.
Watch your feet, guys.
Feet are always going to tangle. That's just a thing that happens when southpaws fight orthodox fighters. Another thing is clash of heads, because one fighter's trying to get position, the southpaw's trying to get position with his right foot, and Breazeale, the taller fighter, the orthodox fighter, is trying to not give him position. Whoever has his foot on the outside is the one that's in control.
How do you avoid peeking, though, when you're a fighter, to make sure that you don't get caught out of position looking for the position, just like what you're saying there? Is there something that does the guy's shoulder blades indicate what he might be doing with his feet? How do you know that you have the angle on it?
Great question, and it's very interesting you say that. If you're getting hit, your position's not right. So right now Breazeale is not in a good position with his feet, because Mansour is actually leading. If you see, his foot is on the outside of Breazeale's left foot right there, and that's the reason he's getting hit so much. It's a good round for Mansour.
He's been able to charge, get inside, land some good hard shots, and get out. And yet you see what Breazeale wants to do. He wants to nail him with that right hand as he's punching down.
Okay, right there when Breazeale attacked and threw a 4-5 punch combination, he had his left foot on the outside of Mansour's right. So anytime a fighter has a foot on the outside, he's in control.
They've both taken their turns in that regard. Round one in the books.
Right here we see Breazeale miss a left hook, which he should be comfortable doing because he's fighting a shorter fighter. He got caught with an overhand left that could have been more dangerous. It landed right on the button, but he took it well. It's the first round, so he got those jitters out, but he can't be taking too many of those overhand lefts.
Get another look. That right hand by Breazeale came up short.
That's the overhand left I'm talking about. It landed right on the button. Breazeale took it well. And right here, he got against the ropes. Mansour landed some great body shots as well.
1-2.
Every round, it starts to stay busy, okay?
Mouthpiece, son, mouthpiece. Back up. Start at the mark.
We start round two. Amir Mansour, Dominic Breazeale, heavyweights. Dave Bontempo and Sergio Mora with you here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. What do you think of the stand-up routine between rounds for Breazeale? Not sitting on the stool. A couple theories as to whether that's beneficial or not. As a fighter, how do you see that?
Well, you want to sit down anytime you can because you're going to be fighting for 12 rounds.
In the back,
12 rounds, 10 rounds, 36 minutes, whatever the case is. But I noticed that when you're a big man, it takes a lot of energy to get up and down every round. Like George Foreman, for instance, he didn't like sitting down either. He was a big heavyweight as well. So I just think that's something you'll see with heavyweights, with big guys that don't really want to bend down and use that leg strength to get up and go down.
Mansour trying to get inside that jab of Breazeale. And because he didn't right there, he eats a right hand.
Breazeale got overconfident there.
He was nailed.
Mansour landed another overhand left there because he was getting too overconfident. Landed some great shots.
Mansour
Right he's hurt.
trying to punch his ticket right here. How many opportunities are you going to get if you're Mansour? A guy with a big height, reach, and age advantage on you. So he sees an opportunity here in round 2.
He needs to hide that left hand. I think it got good to him. He wants to land it again, but he just missed 3 overhand rights that got nowhere near Breazeale's chin. I just think he needs to hide it. He needs to go back to what was working, maybe get Breazeale's eyes off it, his mind off that overhand left, and he could land it later on in the fight.
That takes a ton of discipline.
Look, see, stuff like that is not going to work. Mansour is just doing the opposite thing right now. Not only is he telegraphing these punches, but they take a lot out of you. When you miss punches, you're not used to missing because you don't train to miss. Good shot there, right there. Mansour took that left hook from Breazeale really well.
Breazeale on the outside, trying to utilize the reach, but Mansour able to read the jab in the first couple rounds. So he's able to fire up over the top of it. So Mansour and Breazeale mixing it up nicely at the end of round 2.
Overhand left landed again. That might have stunned Breazeale. That was a big round for Mansour. Even though Breazeale didn't go down, he caught his attention. Mansour caught Breazeale's attention.
Breazeale had the uppercut working for him, and Mansour slips inside and scores well. Well, it is a hardcore start.
Very good start, especially for heavyweights, because these guys could end the night with one big punch, and they've already landed and exchanged big punches.
Breazeale just missing and then caught Mansour with a good left hook. He kept his balance and he was able to land the second shot after the first one missed.
Great.
Breazeale's a very athletic fighter. He used to be a star quarterback in high school, got recruited to college. He started late in boxing because of it, but that's where that athleticism comes from. He was a high school star quarterback. Very nifty on those big feet.
Quarterback in the heavyweight division. Not something you thought that you might put together, but we've seen running backs attempt boxing. We've seen linebackers attempt boxing. And now a quarterback. Dominic Breazeale eats a left hand from Amir Mansour. Beginning of round 3. And there is that telegraphing aspect we talked about. Mansour advertised that right hook from such a distance that Breazeale was able to see it.
Oh, and Breazeale goes
Now
down with
he's
an
down.
overhand right hook. Coming from the southpaw stance from Mansour there.
So he telegraphed or not, he puts Breazeale in deep water. Breazeale out on his feet. Can Mansour finish it? This is his chance. Big opportunity for the 43-year-old. He knows it. This is an Olympian he's trying to stop right here. What a development this would be for Amir Mansour.
Breazeale doing a great job there holding, because he was in serious trouble there. He needs to get by these rounds where he's actually hurt and stunned, because he's not used to being stunned. He's a young pro. This is his toughest fight of his career. Probably the first time he's been down and seriously hurt.
Nailed again by Mansour as he was trying to buy time. Breazeale is back, but he's wild. This is who can sum it up and fire a big one from a strange angle. Mansour delivered the knockdown. He's breathing heavily, but he has adrenaline. Breazeale counters and opens up. These guys are gambling stylistically. It brings out excitement and it brings risk.
Mansour had a chance to stop the fight here, but Breazeale's doing the right thing. He got his wits about him now. He has his feet under him. He did the right thing by holding him. Just those 10 seconds, those 15 seconds were crucial here for him to get his bearings back.
So a tremendous round and a tremendous opportunity for Mansour. He tried to parlay it into a knockout victory. It did not come, and he walks into a Titanic blast himself.
A big right uppercut that landed for Breazeale, but that's a very dangerous punch for anyone should throw, because heavyweights, especially big, tall heavyweights like this, should not throw lead right-hand uppercuts. It just leaves you too vulnerable.
Thomas, count the knockdown.
That's the shot that dropped the big man. There was a right hook at the top of the head. When you get hit on top of the head near the temple,
We okay, baby?
your legs just cut out from under you. It's not that you're really seriously hurt, it's just your legs are gone. And when you get
Not
up,
too much faster.
your
Okay, Amir?
equilibrium is definitely off.
It's an equilibrium buster for sure. At the end of the round, some moments for Breazeale.
Looks like he's
These
beating
guys
both
are
his ears. So,
taking big
he's
chances.
got a little bit of a disadvantage. Let's give him a couple
Big
more
men
minutes.
taking big chances there, and it's an exciting fight for the fans right now. The young undefeated Olympian down already. That was a great round for the veteran. Great fight.
Into round 4, Dave Bontempo and Sergio Mora. Glad you're with us at the Staples Center on PBC. Dominic Breazeale on the left side of your screen, 16-0, 14 knockouts. An Olympian in 2012. Dropped here in this 2016 fight in the last round and nearly stopped. Amir Mansour, who tried to cash in after that knockdown, is 22-1-1. So now it's just, you get the sense that either guy could get a big opportunity in this fight based on how they're fighting.
Absolutely. It's all about a mindset here, and we asked Mansour in the fighter meeting. There was a big difference in the fighter meeting. Mansour told us, he said, it's not a young man's sport, it's not an old man's sport, it's a man's sport. And Breazeale really didn't see it that way. He says, I have all the advantages, the youth, the height, the strength. He didn't give Mansour any kind of credit, and I think it's payback here. I think Mansour's getting his revenge because Breazeale didn't respect him coming into this fight.
A lot of people tell an Olympian, a guy on his way up in a heavyweight division, which is lucrative, you could be the next guy to wear the mantle. So it's very easy to be optimistic about that, but Mansour doing a lot of blue-collar work.
You got to be carefully optimistic, because I think when you're a young undefeated Olympian like Breazeale is, and you think you can conquer the world, he was already talking about fighting for the title after this fight. But I think he's going to have to reflect on this fight and maybe take a couple more fights that are going to get him more seasoned, because You can't be getting dropped by 43-year-old men like Mansour.
Dropped and nearly stopped. He almost did not get out of that round.
All right, stop. Let's go. Box, gentlemen.
Mansour realized you don't know how many chances you get in a fight, so he went all out. And at 43, he had to gamble. And now, 43-year-old guy took a little bit out of himself to go for that knockout that didn't come for him.
Watch your feet, gentlemen.
But like he told us, this is a dream come true. I mean, he went from being incarcerated to fighting for the heavyweight title and fighting to get him in position to fight for the heavyweight title. And this is a big opportunity for him, fighting Breazeale going down there.
It's a slip, but he's already
No knockdown.
been
Let's
down
go.
once.
10 seconds, stop at the bell.
He looked a little groggy coming up, like if it may have been a punch, but it was a slip. Maybe fatigue is setting in on Breazeale.
Take a look and see some highlights for Breazeale. That was a nice right hand that
Real quick, out of the way, please. You don't have
Mansour
your 10
took.
seconds. Get out the way. Let
Right
the doctor
on
look
the
at his
tip
ears.
of the chin. The most dangerous place to get hit as a fighter. Right there, Breazeale landed a big left, almost landed a big left hook, missed it. I think he was more off balance there. They clashed knees a little bit,
Okay.
headlocked him.
Time in.
That was definitely not a knockdown. But I'll tell you what, Dave, when you're that big, like we talked about earlier, when you're that big and you pull a big man like that down, and they use their strength to fight you going down and or getting up, it just takes a lot out of him.
shows how tired he is, too.
But protect yourself. Block, block, bang, bang, baby. Block and shoot. Block and counter. Whatever you do the best. Keep yourself in the center of the ring. Control the center of the ring. Stepping to the left. Steps to the left. If he beats you to that move, come back to that right and look for that straight right hand. You hear me? Keep your punches in a straight line, baby. He's done. Keep him up, baby.
Take some of that.
Keep him up, baby. Deep breath. That's what I'm coming in. Deep breath.
Great advice
Fifth
there
round,
given to
gentlemen. Fifth
Breazeale,
round.
but Breazeale concerned about
Box.
what round it is. Maybe he should be concerned about the man in front of him because Mansour has all the momentum going into the fifth round here.
Shows you a couple things. One, he's gassed to be worried about what round it is. Now, the other thing is, if you're in the corner of Breazeale, how would you get him back on track stylistically in this fight? Now, we talked about the uppercut is there for him. We haven't seen that. He's been wild. How would you get
Watch your feet, guys.
Breazeale back on track?
Mansour is fighting in spurts. So first of all, I would tell Breazeale, see, man, something's wrong with Breazeale here. He keeps going down. He must be exhausted, intimidated,
Let's go, box.
feeling Mansour's strength. Something's going on here because this is the third time he's hit the canvas.
One of them officially, in the last two rounds, he's gone down unofficially.
Well, back to what Breazeale needs to do. He is fighting a man that's a lot older and only fighting in spurts. He can't fight throughout the entire 3 minutes. So the way you slow things, oh, big shot there by Mansour.
He does get in with a nice right hook, and he goes over the top again. Doesn't look 43, we said it. How good he looked in the dressing room, and he has come out with fire here.
Hands are free, gentlemen. Hands are free.
Breazeale needs to stand behind his jab. He can't fight in the inside like this. This is Mansour's fight. He needs to tie him up. He needs to get off them ropes. He's the guy that should be in control. He's fighting Mansour's fight.
Mansour teeing off
your hand out, Amir.
with
Put your
these
right
right
hand out.
hooks, and now starting to mug him, bully him.
In a 10-round
Watch that
fight,
camera. Get that
Dave,
camera back a
if
little bit.
Mansour can muster up one more round or two more rounds, Breazeale will need a knockout to win this fight because he's already down on the scorecard. Big punch there. Mansour's hurt.
And here comes Breazeale after Mansour says, bring it on. Breazeale says, okay. Just misses with a big right hand. Uppercut from Breazeale, and Mansour taking shots flush as he looked too tired to put up his defenses.
Get your hand back, Amir.
He took bombs.
That's exactly what had happened. He was too tired to defend, and he basically waved them on out of bravado. It wasn't really that he's not in bad shape. He took that punch and he's hurt. Breazeale doing the right thing, the disciplined thing, and not going after him, because Mansour is always a dangerous fighter. He's like a cornered animal, always dangerous.
Stop! Break, get back.
And yet for Breazeale,
Let's go. Box.
he might find
Stop
himself
at the bell.
cornering the scorecards unless he does more of what he
Stop
just
at the
did.
bell.
A good rally for Breazeale.
Really good round for Breazeale to get his respect back there, because Mansour was actually taking all the momentum away from him, and he was having that fifth round.
That's it.
Right here, he lands a left hook. They exchange right hooks.
All right,
That's the punch that actually caught Breazeale's attention, hurt him. Mansour trying to get back in there to land it again, which he did.
end the little thing, and I'm gonna.
But Breazeale did the right thing to push him off. Get on the end of the jab.
Breazeale was moving straight back here.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do as a big heavyweight, is move straight back. You're not Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali's the only one that would get away with pulling his head back and moving backwards like that.
And this is how it changed, and this is where Breazeale found his momentum.
Breazeale found his momentum by hurting Breazeale. And, you know, you got to give credit to both guys. Mansour for hurting the younger, stronger fighter, but Breazeale for being the young fighter and remaining disciplined and fighting through circumstances. So this is a great test for the young fighter, and they stopped the fight.
They stopped the fight. They did not let Mansour get up. We heard discussion between rounds. We heard any little thing. We talked about him being gassed. 43-year-old being too tired to defend himself, but he's not arguing now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
knocked the guy
referee in
down
charge,
2 rounds
Raul
early.
Kai Sr. deems Amir Mansour unable to continue for your winner by technical knockout in the 5th round, and still undefeated, Dominic Trouble Breazeale.
And he certainly had trouble in this fight.